All right, now we're on week 2. Week 2. Unit 5. Unit 5, day 2. All right, so let's start with question number 1. So we have decimals this time, and we want to turn, percents, and we want to turn them into decimals and fractions. So these are the ones they give us. So in the first one, remember you put your decimal place in and you move it 2 places to turn it into a decimal. Okay, then to turn it into fraction, I have 70 in the hundredths place. Remember I told you a little trick, you can cancel out those zeros and it's going to be 7/10. All right, the last one, I put my decimals where it needs to be, okay? I'm going to move it forward twice, add in my zero, so it's going to be 0.003. Makes sense because this was smaller than the hundredths place, this percent. So we are in the thousands place. So that's exactly how I make it a fraction. I put 3/1000 because it's in the thousands place. All right, 125. I know I'm going to have a whole number of 1, okay? And my decimal points here moves 2 places this way, so it's going to be 1.25. I know it's going to have a whole number on my fraction, 25 over, and this is in the hundredths place, so 100. I can reduce that down to 1/4. So it's 1 1/4. All right, number 4. Number 4 says, what number is 3.5% of 11? Oh, I'm doing the wrong one. Sorry, I'm doing number 5. Okay, let me rewrite this. So what number is 77? What number is, I missed the word is 77 of 9? Okay, so what number is n? Is equals 77% is 0.77, of means multiply, and 9. So I'm going to multiply these two, and I'm going to get n equals 693, put in my decimal place at 2, and it's 6.93. Makes sense because 0.77 is over half, okay? 9, half of 9 is 4.3, so 6.93 is definitely higher. Let's do number 5. What number is 166% of 300? What number is n? Is equals, that as a decimal is 1.66, of is multiply, and 300. Okay, in this one, I'm going to change this because last time I did a decimal. This time I'm going to do a fraction. All right, and remember I said I can take the whole number and put it over 100 because if I turn that into a mixed number, it's going to be 1 66 100. But what's beautiful about this is it's all ready to multiply. And I can cross-cancel these zeros. Okay, so it's just 3 times this bad boy. So that is going to equal 496. And then I got to put in my decimal place. Okay. Wait, no, I don't have to. Oh, no, because I did a fraction. There is no, sorry. If I did a decimal, I'd have to put in a decimal place at the end. But if you do a fraction, you don't have to worry about decimal at the end. It all comes out right. And this makes sense because I'm over 100%, which means I should get a bigger number than I started with. This is an increase percentage, I increase the amount. So it's bigger. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? So this was actually number 6. I'm going to do number 5 on this one. Number 5. All right, so n, what number is equals 3.5? Turn that into, what are we going to do this time? Let's do a decimal, okay? Yeah, let's do decimal. So if I move that 2 places, that is my decimal. All right, so this one would have been easier as a fraction, but I did fractions last time. All right, I'm just going to take their numbers without leading or exterior zeros. I do have to add these 2 zeros into my answer at the end. So whatever my answer is, it will have 2 zeros. And then I do have to add in the 3 decimal places. Okay, so let's do our math here. Over 1, so I'm underneath the 3 in place value. And then I add down, put in my 3 place value, and n equals 399. All right. All right, what number is, and I gotta make this, I'm gonna do fraction this time, so hundreds place, thousands place. So 606 over 1,000 times 750. Gotta put it over 1, cancel, cancel. 75, well, 25 can go into 75 3 times, and 25 can go into 100 4 times. Okay, and I could go a little further. 2 can go into 4 2 times. 2 can go into this number 303 times. All right, so let's go ahead and multiply. 3 times that is 909. 2 times 1 is 2. Let's go ahead and turn that into a decimal by dividing. 2 goes into 9 4 times. Drop down my 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. It's going to give me, an even number. So now how many times does 2 go into 9? Well, that would be another 4, 8. Drop my 1. Now I need a decimal place. And I'm only going to go out 2 places. Well, 1 place because this has 1 place, okay? So 2 can go into that 5. So my answer is 454.5. N is means equals 20%. I'm going to do fraction again because this is easier as a fraction. 20 over 100 times for the of 340. And this is why it's easier. I can cancel this 0 with this 0 and this 0 with this 0. Okay? So n equals 2 over 1 times 340, or 34 over 1. I multiply, I'm going to get 68 over 1, which is 68. that's the last of the what numbers. So what number is 15% of 75? What numbers? N equals for the is 15%. I'm going to go ahead and do a decimal this time. Of is multiply and 75. So now I got to multiply these two. 35, 37. Put a 0, so I'm underneath the 1. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. Add down. Put my two decimal places back in. N equals 1135. Alright, so let's conquer some of these big word problems now. So number 10 reads, Jay's term paper is 18 pages long. If Madison's paper is 175% of the length, so of Jay's length, of J. Find the length of Madison's paper. So the answer I want is the length of Madison's paper, the total amount of Madison's paper, okay? And this 175 is of Jay's paper, which is 18. So I'm going to write this one as a fraction since our last one I did not as a fraction. Of means multiply, so I'm going to be multiplying these two. 2 goes into 150 times, and 2 goes into 9 that many times. 25 goes into 175 77 times, 7 times, and into that 2 times. Now I can multiply. 7 times 9 is 63. 2 times 1 is 2. All right, let's reduce this. So 2 can go into 6. Well, let me write it all out. 3 times, I'm getting a little sideways, 2 can go into 3 one time with a remainder of 1, so decimal, 0, drop it down, 2 can go into 10 5 times. So N equals 31.5. Makes sense because Madison's paper is obviously longer than Jay's because it's over 100%, so it should be more. So she had a half of one page. I think that's fair to be able to have a half of a page of you know, it could just have words for half of it. So I would say keep it as a decimal. All right. The tallest building in the United States is the Sears Tower in Chicago. The height of the Sears Tower is 150 feet. Which is 240 of the height of the Seattle Space Needle. So I have an of going on here. Find the height of the Seattle Space Needle. So that's going to be my N, right? That's what I need to find. So it is this. And last time I did a fraction, so this time I'm going to do a decimal. Remember, you move it 2 places. So it's 2.40. Don't really need the ending 0 in this case. So I'm just going to take that and multiply it by that. So 0, 20, 16, 18, 5. That's my first line. Okay, now on to the 2. So 0, 10, 8, 9, and 2. Add down, put my place value in, and it's only a place value of 1 because I decided not to use this 0. Okay, so it's taller, and it should be taller. It should be twice and then some taller because it's 200% plus the 40%, so it's 2 whole ones. So I knew it had to be pretty big. Okay, but that is really big. Okay, our last question of this problem set. Jake wants to tip 15% to a pizza delivery driver. If the total bill was $23.45, what would be the tip amount? So he wants to tip 15% of the total bill. This is the total bill. Okay, so I'm going to do this one as a decimal because it's easier. 0.15 would be the decimal, and I need to find the total amount of tip. So I am going to have to multiply my decimals. This one's a little different. I have a lot of decimal places. I have 2 in this number and 2 in this number, so altogether 4. Okay, so 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 more is 22. 15, 17, 10, and 11. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. I felt like I was counting backwards for a minute there. All right, so 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in money, does it make sense to have all these decimals? No. We go to money. This would be the hundredths place is our last value digit for money. So I look at the 7. The 7's going to round it up, okay? So it's going to be 3.52, and this is money. So put your $sign in there. All right, keep practicing these problems. Email me if you have any problems, and I'll see you next class.